All right, we're going to be doing part 2 so far, and continuing on the fox painting. So, as always, we will wait for someone to come on, for a number of people to come on, hopefully. All right. All right. So this is different stencils that I've cut out. That's the to protect the background, and I can use parts of it. I don't have to use the whole thing. No, just parts. Let me lower this a little bit and straighten that out a little bit that way. I'm going to move this one more time, but lower everything. Try to get that angle better. Okay. All righty. Yeah, I was putting in the direction of the fur probably in the past half hour, 40 minutes, just sitting on the couch with a clipboard and drawing it, drawing it down. Lots of colors. Lots of colors. Some of these notes will say to use certain colors, like here's number 4. It's opaque mixtures and transparents that I'm using. So my little system is working for me. So if I change things up, obviously you learn things as you go and you do things differently. All righty. Tell me how the sound is. Hopefully the sound is good. Now, I have my sound low. Tell me if anyone can just tell me can you hear me? Is the sound good? Just a thumbs up on that, or a yay or a nay. While I was drawing it, I wasn't paying attention to the clock exactly. So, hey, how you doing, Grumpy? Sounds good, good. The volume's good. Okay, Alistair. Michael, how you doing? Good, good. Nice steady stream here, right? Having success last night with Steve Leahy's feed. He's getting all the kinks worked out for it to not behave like Facebook. Air Todd. How you doing, Air Todd? Okay. So, while a few more people are coming on, I'm cleaning up a little bit. I have a little bit of a clutter here that I don't usually have when I'm working, but I'm laughing, but it can be messy. So here's another color. All right, for those that are going to watch this, Createx illustration colors, probably, I'll just show the yellow bottle. It's a little easier to read. Illustration colors, that are made for transparent mixtures, and you can make your own opaques and all that. You just shake them. Make sure you always shake them. And yeah, it's a great paint. Createx is on top of their game. Love them. And so is Blair synthetic paper here. Obviously, I'm not using any magnets or anything like that yet. I like the ones that Drew has been using. He's got the real tiny little ones. They look like dots. So that's nice, to not have big magnets all around. But that's later. Right now, this is the old school way I've been doing it. And I'm just going to take a piece of tape right now because this side's letting go. Okay, Stuart, good morning, my Mr. Australian. Good day. Probably a very poor version of what we call an accent. All right, so I don't want that to be very fat. So let's see, what's that on? Paper, whatever. A little more stick on that side. Okay, so we're going to go with that. And lower it a little bit. There's our reference picture right there. And then we have our bigger reference picture. So, you know, life's really funny sometimes. It's like, I'm not sad that I purchased the new needle for my Micron. The reason why I'm saying I'm not sad is because the Micron's been needing the needle and the nozzle replaced. It's been acting up. So you spend the money and it comes to you. And I said to myself, well, let me test the Micron one more time. And as we have Murphy's Law kicks in, and all of a sudden the Micron's working like, I don't know if I'm not returning it or anything. The only reason why I would return it is just to get the head assembly. Nozzles are expensive. But so I'm holding off. I got a needle and a nozzle. I've got the Medea thread sealer for putting the nozzle in that they recommended, or the beeswax, because they're sealed in the factory. And when you start taking them apart, my airbrush goes back to 1997, I think, somewhere around there. So it's got the Blair lowrider trigger. Inside, it's got the soft spring, which I put in my other airbrushes too, because it's so easy to function with. I did get one more thing here. I found these at Harbor Freight, and along with the dental these things, the dental tools for cleaning out your airbrush a little bit, reaming the opening with the color cup and all that stuff. I'm trying to be more conscious of being more aware of, especially using opaques, cleanness with my airbrush so that it just behaves better, keeps on working nice, no stuck triggers and all that stuff. So I did get the wrench. I'm not seeing the wrench that puts the, I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. So I got the little wrench that puts the nozzles in. The airbrushes just doesn't do whatever. Let's see, the Neo doesn't need it. And it fits all Iwata and Neo airbrushes, except the Iwata Eclipse and the Neo TRN2 side feed trigger airbrush. So it's a nice little tool that I should have got a long time ago, because when you're holding that little nozzle and you're trying to put it in with your fingers, it's ridiculous, right? And of course my needle, I got my needle, but notice it's not in the gun, because I was testing out on a piece of paper the other day with some nice blue paint, cobalt blue, and I was writing my name. This, like when you first get your Micron, I was writing my name and little letters about a 1/16 of an inch tall, and I was like, wait a minute, how come my airbrush is working all of a sudden? But anyway, Dan Mayer, how you doing? Who else we got here? All right, we're going to get busy on this. Stuart, how's the weather over there? I know you had that storm come through, monster storm. How do you make transparent opaque? Add a bit of white, Bill? Yes. So you take the transparents, any of them, any of the colors. As soon as you can see the opacity to that mixture. Now, this one, let me just see here. So yeah, you add white to a transparent paint. Now this one here is transparent. In other words, I didn't add any white. Got very little paint in there too. I didn't add any white to make that color. But if I keep spraying over this color, it'll get darker and darker and darker and out of control. Like you have to be very careful. But you want to use transparents and opaques because you can do all kinds of, you know, getting things done, getting the colors, tweaking things and pushing things. So right now, I did erase out the pupils a little bit, and there was a reason for that. I looked at the large photo I have. Let me just put my arm in front of you for a minute. Okay, and if you, I'm going to have to take this off here. If you look at that, I had perfect circles in there, and they are out of focus, blurry ovals. So I'll be doing that later. And then, of course, that wonderful reflection. And the direction of fur is circular. So it goes this way, that way, and it starts coming back to straight. So if you really could look at the whole thing, like tigers, the bigger, rounder face, it's circular. It's very circular. And everything has like an order and a, pattern that follows suit on all animals, furry animals. This is a fur stencil that I haven't quite figured out yet because I don't usually paint super large. And they have smaller versions of this. This was gifted to me. And I would say you could find all kinds of interesting shapes and things on here for something larger. But for this, if I start trying to find things, I think it would be the smaller stencil that would help me. But in the meantime, what did I say I was going to go after with first? I cut out, I don't know why I didn't save this piece before when I cut out the positive, but I cut this out tonight. And it's just to help me, with getting some stuff done there. I'm going to paint his back first right there. So I don't need everything else perfect right now because I just want to get his back protected. I don't want to pin it down because I don't mind it being a little bit, if you watch the other video, a little fluttering, a little softness underneath there, not a super hard edge, just making sure. Because see, that edge is kind of soft. Even though I had the shield, I lifted it. Okay, so I have the purple tape, which is really great to get. Look at that. It stayed for a half a second. Purple tape is great because you can get it from Drew's. It's just great because it doesn't tear any paper. It just behaves itself. So we want to go like something like that. You can let a little bit of that other color bleed through. You can put it right on your copy paper. It's great. It's just a great thing to have. So I have my little map, like I said. So I know if I use number 6 mixture, or if I use number 4. So I'll do 4 first because I go from light to dark. You always go from light to dark with the opaques. You can go either way with transparents. You can go back and forth from reverse it. These are my little papers I cut from copy paper. And I just test spray on it. And keep them in a little container. My system here. So when they get down, I just cut some strips and put them in there. I like them to be about that wide. I don't like the real fat ones because then I can just put them up here and spray a test, a little test. If you really want to know more about what I'm saying, now that's not exactly how Drew does things. He has a, this is from his style, but he has a really tight system down. And of course he has the printers and he has the laser cutter. He makes all the stencils and he can make the stencil for the fur. So if he was selling this as a classroom in a box, I do see it needs to shift over a little bit. This would be, you would get the stencil to lay down to get the direction of the fur, but you can't let it look like a stencil. You have to, you have to hide that hard and soft line. So, okay, I said I need this color, and that's what I'm going to use. I think it's number 4. Yeah, it's an opaque color. It's right here, right there. I can put the bigger picture up too so you can see it a little bit better. Just for now. Don't need that there. Okay, now I get my paints out of the way. I put them up here just to show my system. And put them off to the side. In between colors, I put the lids on because it can very easily spill or blow over with the air pressure. Remember too that just because you have a lid, sometimes I find that I didn't put the lid on good. Snap them tight. This paint will last long, especially if you have a pretty good amount that you made. Pre-mixed colors that are made by you or me, and they can last. Gosh, last week I got some colors. This color lasted. Put a little bit of 2040. Was it 2040? Where is my 2040? 4021. I'm saying it backwards. Okay. So I might have to take a paintbrush and yeah, the reducer kind of just turned it watery. I didn't need a lot of paint for this one, so I'm just going to stir it a little bit like that, making it more solid, and that's good. It only goes here and there, so you don't have to waste paint. But when you're testing colors, you go through a lot of paint, and you end up going, I got the color I want, and then you're like, I'm out of paint. I tested it so much, I'm out of paint. Anyway, let's make sure that this little baby is spraying good. It would be just like it to say, oh man, you got to put the nozzle in right now because it changed its mind. No, I don't really have to worry about pencil lines because I'm using the opaque colors right now. But for what it's worth, the kneaded eraser, this is a good kneaded eraser as opposed to the cheap one. See how hard that is to pull apart? That is a really good quality kneaded eraser. It's self-cleaning as you knead it. They call it a kneaded eraser. You knead it. You knead it plus you knead it. You twist it around and knead it like that. And you also need to have one. So you can just kind of sweep away. It's really, it can take this down really quick. Like clean it up nice, but I'm not going to go too hard. And now the lead or the graphite goes on there and you keep twisting it around. But the crummy one is right here. Crummy brand. It's just like, are you kidding me? I mean, I can't erase with that. It starts stretching out like that. And I don't remember the brand, but gosh, that's like gum, This is stronger. So you got to check your brands when you're buying them. I don't know which one was the good one. I'm thinking Prismacolor might be, but could be General, and I don't know. I have a brand new General in there, so we'll find out. But okay, so I knocked back the line, and I know stop talking and start painting, right? Okay, so right in here, test it on the side, which really and truly, I should put a piece of paper up right next to this, just out of the way a little bit, so I can have that to just test color on, make sure the air pressure and everything from the gun is working good. And there we go. Just keep that like that. We'll pin this down here because things do flutter. That's just a negative piece, a positive piece. Okay, here we go. We'll test on the side. Now this, I don't have to, I can spray this in at 100% because it's a mixed opaque color. I'll check the comments. Give me a little bit. So the back of the fur on the back of this critter is very out of focus. So you're not going to see. So now I'm trying to get that color. And the only way I can get it, I don't want to spray this like 50%. I want to spray this 100%. And I can go up even into the other area a little bit. So there's 100 right there. At least in that area. Air dry it, you know. And then it's back here on his back. So I see this has moved a little bit. So let me just kind of brush that in that way. Okay, so it's like I'm almost painting his whole back. But in reality, now that's torn there. So let me just get the French curve. Drew's having a sale on his Color Theory in a Box. $20 off either, you know, his you know, where you get paints with it or you get just the video. But I saw that. I think it's still on today. And again, I'll push that till the cows come home because I'm having a really fun time trying to learn color. And you know, I've been doing this a pretty long time. That's pretty good there. So let's just put that up at the top. Little piece of blue tape, purple tape. So yeah, with the opaque mixtures, like I'm not teaching, like I said, I'm not going to teach Drew's color theory. The only way I could do that is privately and with his permission. And we've talked about that, but not on a free video. Plus, it's so involved. I mean, it's not something you're not going to learn it overnight. You got to sink your teeth into it. And if you purchase this kit, you got to be willing. Different people are at different levels. So I'm an ADD learner. You know, I just like, are you kidding me? I still don't understand it. You know, that kind of a person. That's just the way I've been. I have to learn by doing and seeing and repetition. Now, where else does this color go? Let's see. Okay, I almost was going to spray it here, but I have my little notes over there, and it's going to be another color. So for fun now, we'll go into the. Actually, we got to put the light color in here because it's right here, and it's not the same color. It's like a tan. This is more like a. Nah, it looks like a reddish tan. Okay, so I've used up, and I still have paint left over for the size of this painting. I think I'm going to try to go up in size a bit for my own self, you know, just to do that, you know. So let's see. I'm checking comments here. Come on. Really? What is this arrow doing? Okay. Do you use the Faber-Castell stick erasers? Yeah, all the things you're saying, Dan, are great. I mean, I have a drawer full of erasers because when you're drawing, back in the day, I had the art school. When you're drawing, you know, you want to get everything. You want all kinds of tools at your arsenal. You know what I mean? So this is what'd you say? This, yeah, how do you say it? Stedler, Mars Plastic. So yeah, and this one you can just kind of bring it out, bring it in. This is great when you're working on the clay board and you have that real hard surface. I haven't tried it on here yet, but you can really, it's a hard soft eraser. This is an aggressive eraser, which is Germany Perfection 7, I think it's a 7058B Faber-Castell. and it is an aggressive eraser. And I use the Tombos, you know, for better for graphite because they don't have an aggressive eraser really. And I have used the electric battery powered erasers where you just hold down like that, and I sharpen them by just getting the sandpaper out, pull that up a little higher like this. Oops. Well, you get the point. It's not coming up easy because I got to pull it out and do that. Anyway, I just spin it on a piece of light sandpaper for wood. And like I said, there's so many erasers, from the pink eraser. This is all dirty. This was a magic erasers by Prismacolor. Yeah, I think they were Prismacolor, but they were the magic erasers, soft, white, very easy and gentle on your artwork. Excuse me. And then I've got one of my favorites, which is Helix, the same brand as the electric eraser. So, and then you can add the gum erasers. You know, like I said, there's all kinds of different erasers that are available. That one there. That really makes a lot of crumbs. But you have them all, and you try different things. I even have a triangular one here. Okay, so now we want to get this color on. It almost looks like the same color that's there. So, I think it is. That's good, because I was making that color before and I was having trouble. I made the same colors in opaque and transparent to make a decision later about, do I want to use the opaque because it's harder to erase and harder to chip out, scratch out. Like this is a sample I was working on. Okay, so you can see. You can start going in here and pulling out some fur. Use the natural curve of your hand too, and you'll get some nice line work. But this is small, see? So when I get into these big guys, they're freehand with the airbrush inside the ear. These little guys here are very sharp and in focus. So the shallow depth of field, look at the blue on the white there. The shallow depth of field has made this all blurry, along with the sharpness here. So the photographer focused right here. Boom, click, he got it. That went out of focus with whatever setup he had. And then the tree line with the sky did that bokeh thing that happens, which is beautiful. It makes this image sharper. And then the out of focus ground, and you just paint what you see. You got a little green, that green's up in there. Little green, break it up with a little. It's just like scribbling almost. You scumbling along, So, okay, now I need a little water to flush out my airbrush. Yeah, so I got my parts to my airbrush and I'm happy. But when I started writing and doing little lines, I just wanted to see how it behaved before I put the new parts in. I was like, wait a minute, what did I order the parts for? But I'm sure I won't regret that. I still might get a head assembly too, because my airbrush is in great shape and the head assembly's beat up from pliers. When you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. It's like, you taking pliers to your airbrush? Yeah, I did. I use a girl's memory board for eraser. Wow, that's cool. Good evening there, Roy. Roy Johnson. He used to come to my studio when it was in Brick, New Jersey. And we actually had in-person lessons, painting t-shirt style stuff and all kinds of cool stuff. So that was cool. I got a few of Drew's Classroom in a box. I think I chewed too much off. I think I could do it. You'll do it. I got my color Classroom in a box in 2020. I was working on a pet portrait, and it was my last one because things shut down, you know. But I got the painting in. It was a little hard to do because you couldn't even go to stores, and you know, the guy was mailing me photos. I did a bulldog. I think it was a bulldog. And anyway, while I was working on the dog, I said, "This is it. I'm having trouble with color theory still." So I with Drew's color theory, basic color theory, you can do it if you go online and read about it, practice, you know, mixing all the different colors. But if you want to take a deep dive and see your work go way up in matching colors, and then you work on the Classroom in a box, and you work on your skills of painting the actual, you know, how to paint hair, how to paint fur, how to paint. He has a lava skull that he painted. He has a skull that looks like it's marble, or I'm not sure. He has a metal one. He has flaming. People like skulls. I don't paint skulls really. Just not into it. Where's my lid? But he has everything, and how to paint hair. Of course, if you get a portrait thing, you'll get all about that in the one video. But that's a heavy duty course. I mean, look at the detail. If I was doing this large, look at the fur. It's like you got to really have patience, right, to do the short snout. Then the hairs get a little longer, then they get really long, and this is all in focus because the cameraman wanted. He probably took a lot of shots of him. I love how the little fox was looking at the camera, like maybe the camera was down low on the ground because he's low. Okay, so we've got. What was I going to use? What color? I was going to use 4. Now why? Just give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, this has got to be it. Yeah, that's it. Why does it look like that, though? Wait a minute. That's that color. Oh, what did I write on there? Spray it lighter. Okay. Okay, sometimes you could take, now this is the same color, and it just, if I spray it not 100%, I can get, so I cleaned out the paint and then I still need it. I can get a lighter version of it and it starts to look more like a tan. So that's the other thing too. You got all kinds of, like I just said, you know, lighter version of it. And I made a note, even though it looks like there's a million colors, some of the colors are used differently. So I'm going to put this shield down here. And I was watching one of my videos and I was seeing how the hand is right there all the time. I got to, you know, pay attention to that for you guys. And so I will try to think about that. Here we go. I do see a little bit of erasing, right? Because I'm not spraying this at 100%. So because of that, I'm going to erase the line down a little bit more right here. It's gone, just like that. Okay. Color, whoops. Like I said, a small painting like this, it's just drops of paint that really go a mile. So right here, remember the 100%'s right there. Now, if I dust this is the nice thing about the airbrush. If I dust this in, I still am seeing a pencil line though. All right, let me just bring that over a little bit. I can always correct it with the green. You just spray the same color, but now I'm spraying it very light. So I'm not using it at 100%. And it looks different. It looks like a whole nother mixture. And I found out as I was mixing, because of Drew's class, I found out I'm learning so much about color that it's a never-ending thing. It's amazing. That's all I need for a tanner thing. Oh yeah, it's right in here. So we kill, I say kill, but take the kneaded eraser. It's picking up all kinds of stuff here in my drawer, little pieces of paper. Just flatten it out and pull that down. It's probably erasing some of that tan too still. Right here. I'm just going to knock that back. It's sticking a little better than I want it to because I used, you know how you make a carbon paper with a pencil? Take the back of a pencil and you just keep getting the dark soft lead onto a paper and make your own carbon paper. Well, I used it on here and I've done that on clayboard and it's not as smeary, but this is sticking better than the other comes off easier, the graphite paper. It just comes off easy. Okay, so where do we want that? Sometimes you have to go in with a more accurate eraser and get this right there. There we go. Now, there's a space there. I have to just remember there's going to be the reddish color. Okay, so I want to come down under that ear part. And again, this is the light color right here. Oops, sorry guys. Right here. And again, it's just spraying it light. Doesn't matter about the shape of it right now, but you can see the difference. And if I have to adjust that later, I can do that too by dropping some white into the same color, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. All right, so I think that's where it's supposed to be. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit more, right there. It'll be waiting for the colors to go around it. Where else do I see it? I think I see it here. So while you have it in the gun, look around on the reference picture for where you think you might need it. And I think I need it right there. And a little bit on the other side, like a balance. So I'm just going to leave the lines till I get to them, you know, that kind of a thing. Okay. Okay. Out here, I got to look at it closer. Yeah, it's almost whiter, but let me just see the ear here. Right here. And that's good. I'm just checking out. That's it for that. The snout, maybe. Maybe. I'm just going to put a little bit in the beginning. I want to just see how it looks. Because I can erase that out. Got pencil lines there still. Okay, so I might be able, I painstakingly tried to mix this color and I think I can use this color lighter. So here's what we got looking at the background. Okay, blurry fur. And you just move on through. The next color will be this one. And even that color has darks and lights of itself there. So I'll be treating it as I see it, you know. Okay. Hey, what we got? Antony. Hello there. Welcome on board. What else we got here? Anybody else I'm missing? Well, if I didn't say hello to everyone, then forgive me because I am focusing on the painting part. Okay. Is JC? Oh, JC, yeah. Okay. How you doing, JC? All right. Blowing out the color. Sometimes I'm really like itching to get on the live, you know, the live feed. And this past week or two, was more so than other times. It was just I'm just enjoying it, you know. And it's like I felt like going on live and maybe earlier in the day, just randomly make sure that I see if I'm not going to crash into. I'm not talking about the morning like Michael. I, well, Michael, I don't know where are you living, because you come on AM here real early, so it might not be if you're far away. Okay, so I need around the eye. Okay, I'm looking for my color. I have some notes. It's okay, so it's number 6. Pre-mix colors. You know, you don't have to deal with this. You can do transparents and all, but I'm not seeing that color at the moment. My number 4 over there. I need that. I need that color. I found that color. Look at that color. There's your match. Looks it's on. It's on. It's just, you know, you're looking at it. Well, again, get the course from Drew and you'll be looking at it differently. Yes, sir. And if I was really just hunting down to do the style photorealism and what Drew is doing, I would definitely get the color theory first. Because if you get the projects and you don't have color theory down, you know, wouldn't it make sense to want to know more about that first? That's what we learned in his school. Every time I went to his classes, whether it was North Carolina or in South Carolina, I went one time to his new school, which is off the hook, you know, giant television screens, just an unbelievable facility. So, but the thing is, color theory was taught first. Then the class moved forward, you know, with the paintings. Okay, so let's get this in here now. Like I said, gotta put that lid on. All right, so it's here. It's an underpainting here. So it will live here. I'm just gonna come up here like this. I pay attention to where I might want some lighter version of this. The color will start showing up as I bring it in. And once it gets separated, separates the two colors, then you start seeing a difference. And even if I'm using the wrong mixture here, that's okay, because the transparent is the darker orangier, burnt sienna kind of look. So we're going to go off of here, put some color in there. Now, it's like I said, it's so little compared to the real, get rid of this for a minute. Like big, you know, 11 by something or 8 by 8 painting or even bigger. You got bigger areas to work on, but this is what I chose to work on. And it's definitely, there's 100% once I put the real red in. But I'm going to treat it like blurry fur back here. And then I'm going to just slowly add color to that shape there. Slowly. Look at it. It's not sprayed yet, probably only 30%. I want to work around this cell phone, but that would be like this, and then I'm all blocking it. So I have to come in from the side. So if you hear something crash, you'll know I knocked over something. Just going easy. Little air, a little more volume because I need like a soft feather stroke right here. Darker. Not there. What the heck? Up higher. Ooh, it's too thin. Okay. So let's just fire in some more. Yeah, this is too thin. So we'll just dry it. Too much reducer. Air dry that, and that'll work out. Started to spider on me. I have to come around this way because there's no way I can hit this. So if I'm blocking for a second, just know that I'm doing the same thing there I did there. Yeah, I am blocking. Let me tilt down. It would help if I put more color in the gun. Okay, so where is that color? Okay. Yeah, I should probably zoom a little bit. Sorry, guys. You know me with the zoom. I have to do it real flick of the finger, you know. That would work better. Sorry, I wasn't showing you that. Yeah, one thing about doing a live feed, like, and not making enough paint when you're making custom colors, and I mean like this kind of stuff, that could be a problem as opposed to having, you know, like a lot of things. Steve Leahy's excellent at mixing colors, and he has his own style and way of going. He can get very photorealistic, depending on whether he's doing, you know, whatever he's doing and plans. He can excellent with color. He's just, you know, that's how good he is, and it's fast. He's using the gravity feed gun and all that kind of stuff. So let's see. I want a little bit of a straight area here. Little like areas that are darker than I can use the airbrush for. It's blurry fur. I know better to have not gone after the tip dry, and I also know better to not shoot at that volume of paint there. Not good. Okay, I'm going to dust over this now a little bit. Make it stand out a little more. There we go. Now you're starting to see that red tone. But there's things going on in there still. It's got little, I just got to stay in one spot like this and just make it darker version of it. Yeah, it's going in the right direction there. Okay, so that's separating those two colors. All right. Oh, I'm seeing something here. See that area there that I sprayed? That might be, I don't know if that's his back or if that is that part of the bokeh going on back there. Big circle. That's a pretty big circle though. It's got to be his back. So I'm comfortable that I put it in there. Remember, it's building layers too. I have no, I'm going to put the transparent on top of this and make decisions as I see the painting evolve. There we go, like that. I might have went a little too low there, killing one of my colors. Such a small painting, you got to really pay attention. So let me kind of outline this right here. Yeah, I went a little low at that. So I'll come in now with the aggressive eraser. Wherever I put it. Brand new one here. Look at the size of that. It's brand new. Never been sharpened. But I need to find this right here. See, the opaques just come off like you're snow shoveling light snow or something. It's just removes it right away. And then I kind of killed this area a little bit, but I don't want to use the aggressive eraser there. I'll use the softer one and see if I can get back to the lighter color. Probably not. Actually, yeah, it's actually making like fur. That was interesting. Okay, but that's supposed to be blurry, so, all right. There, over here. I'm far away with the airbrush, so it's blurry. And then just come up here and coat it out. Let's see. Okay. All right. Dark, dark. So basically, once you get, I'll bring the green in here to, let me see if I can blur that out with the, is this the color? No, that's not the color. All right, so scrap that idea. Okay. So now I'm going to take transparent and I'm going to spray into the opaque. Not killing the opaque, just enhancing it. Because like I said, it's light to dark. So you can see a little bit of this color I just sprayed under that color. And I notice each photograph's a little different too. Some of them, they look a little redder, a little orange, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to look at this for a second. Now we're going to go to the orangier sepia kind. No, not sepia. What is it? Like a burnt sienna kind of color, but it's been pre-mixed. So I will grab that. Around the eye. Burnt sienna number 5. Yeah. Oh, I need the big. All right. Just stirring the trans paint, mixing it up a little bit, microscopic amount. Yeah, I usually tag people on Facebook, and I didn't do that today. Didn't remember to. So maybe they'll see it ad that I did. start to come on. Test it over here. Still got the old color. There we go. All right, so this does need a little erasing right in here. That's a dark, kind of, like I said, a burnt sienna kind of look. Kind of pushing that other color back up a little bit and out of the way. I swear you can use this for the eyes. I'm gonna just paint where the pupil was. I'm just gonna paint this color in, kind of just let it be there waiting for the new pupils. Okay, right here. Okay, so we take the outer piece and I'm just using the right side, so I'm just going to kind of look at that edging right there. The tail is out of focus, so I have to bring a little bit of this color in. Nice. Turn the Mac valve down by accident. Got the stencil. Oh, it's standing good. Okay. I think somewhere right around here. Just spray mostly on the stencil. So you can see, you can make fur right here by just going like that, but this is blurry, so I'm not gonna use that for a sample. What do I want to do now? I want just put the transparent on the ear, even though black is going to go there. Put it there a little bit too. Just in certain areas. Got a lot of erasing to do with the pencil marks here. Yeah, I've got some erasing to do there. Actually, it gets darker on top of that, so I'm just going to lay that in lightly. Sculpting them a little. Okay, down here. No, we don't want that twistedness. Oops, sorry. What the heck is that? Right there. That's good enough. That'll work. Oh, wasn't coming out, and then it came out. So we'll take care of that real quick. Okay, that's going to be dark all in there, so it's okay. Okay, let's see. I'm almost thinking that I'll put a little bit in here, just a little color to work with. Now, if you use an opaque for this, you're going to be in trouble unless you have a plan. Such as how to get the different, hairs in there and not lose them. this will not hide the pencil lines, but there's a lot of darks in there that are going to be like a chocolate brown, and I could probably get away with. Then you could come in here. Now I got to get rid of some of the pencil lines. Try at least. Knock them back to where they're just a ghost. This is not working. I need. Just going to start to indicate where they're going to go up. A lot of erasing in there, but let's go to some dark areas so we can start to pop him out more. Let's see, did I make? So I do have little notes on here. This is transparent. So I have burnt sienna, burnt umber, and cobalt blue to knock it back into kind of like, you don't want them right out of the bottle look. So the blue, blue's the opposite of orange, and the brown family is in the orange family. And so that's what I'm doing there. So one more, just a little pitch for Drew and for you guys too, because so the Classroom in a Box comes with a color theory, 5 color wheel. There's one, it's lighter. There's your traditional one. So you'll get all that. Of course, my camera's zoomed in right now, and you'll learn to how to really navigate the depth of color wheel that the average person just doesn't know. They don't know until they study his class, his color theory thing. And even if I was into probably just loose realism, nothing, not trying to go for really super realistic or hyper, or because I'm not there yet. I've got a long way to go. But if I was just doing, the realism thing, like maybe a style, I think Norman Rockwell, his style was very realistic, but it still had an edge to it of looseness, illustration kind of look, and therefore, I still I'd want all the color knowledge I could get from all kinds of people. I saw an oil painter that was using kind of this theory of mixing dead-on colors, and he had a tool that he extended out towards the painting, and it had a little window on it, metal. He made it himself, and he could zero in on a color, and he could test the color visually from a distance, almost like he was using. I don't even know. It was really cool, but it was reminding me of some of the things I've learned. It was just, you can't air dry oil paint and then test things and stuff. You're talking about wet paint, wet on wet. and stays wet for a while. So it was really neat to see how he was making photorealistic paintings. Okay. What do I want? I want, oh yeah, for the ears. Yeah, I gotta back off on a little bit. I'm getting a little carried away with putting the reducer in. I'm getting a little too, when I have small mixtures, I'm getting a little too liquidy, and that came back to bite me up here wherever it splattered. So this is what this color would look like. Let's see if we can bring this over. See that color there can get darker and darker. That's what happens with a transparent. Until you lose control, you're not going to stop at a certain point, you know, and then you're going to lose control of the right hue. You know, you're going to lose control of it very easily. So there's going to be a lot of brown that's going to come out of here. So I'm going to fire in some of this color and let that dark color pick up on it right there. Even here on his legs, it's really, the black is weird, man. It looks like it's milky. I can't explain it. It's like I'm testing it. What is this color? It's supposed to be black. But yeah, you see all the little doesn't matter if I paint the whole leg this color. I'm wasting paint though. But having it underneath, like say the black, having this color just underneath it won't hurt it, because you might want to let some of it show through later. But this does come down on him here, and there's a little something going on in here, and I am cheating a little bit. I'm not trying to match every little color on his legs. Just don't feel like it. Okay, go a little bit more here. So it just kind of streaks down like that, and it streaks back up on this side. Whoops, I went outside the line. That's all right, didn't hurt nothing. We got background that's kind of in the gray family that is all in here. And if you save colors that last a while, you can just go back on them and, you know, you can get yourself the same mixture by saving it for, I've had them last, like I said, for quite a while. See a little more softness here, right there. And a little darker in here. And right in here, wait, yeah, it's going to have a little color right there. A little color there. I'm just putting it on soft, just to have some color. Okay, I'm going to be careful in here because I've got a lot of pencil lines and I don't want to. I'm not worried about the background here. I'm just whispering in a little. Sorry, I'm blocking you a little. Whispering a little bit of color right there. That changes, it will get darker. And this will get redder. Let's see. Stronger, I should say. Oh, a little tip dry can work wonders, right? More paint. Okay. Man, a lot of color still coming out of the gun after you think it's empty, because these colors just go far on a small area. What do we got here? Okay, so you can see it's slowly building up. It's going to take a little time when you get to a certain stage. I am taking those pupils out with, I'll do it right in front of you guys. And, when I sprayed over them with the fur color, that was just wrong. I'm going to take them out, but the main reason why I'm taking them out is the pupils were done with the circle template. You know, when you look at it quick, you go, oh, there, you know, pick a little pupil like that, spray the black. No, it's total freehand, and it's total oval kind of shape and soft. So that those are things you make adjustments on when you see the mistake, or yeah, it's more or less, you know, it was a mistake. You got to look at it, make sure. So now I'm going in here. Oops, you guys can't see the picture anymore. So I'm going in the ear, but it's not black. It's a brown family. I'm going to try to spray it this way so you guys can see and not have my hand blocking the camera. And there you go. There's a nice shot. Paint the airbrush. Let's see what that looks like from the front. That's cool. Tilt it up, get the out of focus handle in the back. I love it. I love it. Little dagger strokes, right? This would be like soft fur that you're not going to etch in with any kind of scratching tools or anything. You're just going to use the micron and freehand it because it's soft. It's not a hard edge. Slowly but surely, you'll see softer fur in there. We got a nice little something going on here. I'll just go over the pencil line. Where am I? Right. See, on the angle, this angle, when I try to, because you can look right down, this color comes out of the way. But when you're painting on the side for a video and you're trying to stay out of your way, I might miss, you know, because, I mean, it's possible, you know, miss my target. Where we got this? This one, I'd say right here. I'll just do a dot out here and find out where I am. There's other ways to do it too, but you can use shields and go back and forth with that. And you don't want to be all, like, make everything look the same. It's very random, very, like, here's a point. I'm aiming the wrong way. See, this angle is really rough. And it goes right up to here. Fill it in. I'm aiming that way so I don't ruin that. And everything and anything that you do can be fixed with opaques. Like that little splash out there. Just go over it. Am I using opaque here? I'm not even sure. I think it's a mixture, yeah. So it will only get so dark. Starting to flood it on, so I'm air drying it so that I can go back over that mess there and bury it. Transparent, you can't do that. You start just getting darker and darker and darker. And you can do things like this. Let's see. Okay, so we want it's still, oops, I went a little too low. It's still, it's still got to be pretty soft. Air dry it. Now I'm going to really fire it in right there because it's completely dark. Completely. Oh, you got the reflection there. Well, you got that darkness. That's all I'm going for. It's all dark. And then there's black around the rim. Oh, a little bit too wet. Air dry it. Looks like it's ruined, right? A little splash there, but it's an opaque. I can just let it dry and then go over it again. Yeah, I definitely got a little flood going on here, meaning too much reducer. So air drying that, just let that dry for a minute. Stay away from that side. This is a little easier because I'm sweeping this way. So that tan is on there, so I can go up to the pencil line, right there. Exposing that color right there. It becomes a lighter fur, like almost like you scratched it in or something. There's a lot of them in here, so I have to just carefully figure out the next one right here. Nope, not with tip dry. So slowly but sure. There's only a little hint of seeing these lighter colors. I should have put more tan in there. I could leave white. I could leave the white of the. So everything's out of focus in his ears, or semi-focused, but it's soft. It's very soft fur. It's not like you're going to be scratching it in. Some of it on his face is soft too, actually, up in here. The more I look at it. So then some areas, like you got to go this way. You got to come down and get in here. You can also pull that needle in and out, kind of rock it, get that really cleaned off. I don't really have much of a fingernail there, but okay, so where am I? I'm right here. See the difference? You get that tip dry off and the gun just works beautiful. Yeah, if you see a little bit of a tremoring airbrush, like wiggling a little, it seems like the problem I had when I was throughout my life has just gotten a little worse. So I don't, I talk about it because I watch my own videos later and I'm like, man, look at that airbrush shaking. But I end up getting the job done at the end of the day. It's just annoying. It's, maybe I'm thinking of getting one of those, because it worked for me years ago. I have a stationary bike, and I know part of this is adrenaline builds up in your system. And the stationary bike is an upright, and it's horrible, right? It's just not comfortable. I don't like going on it. My thighs get really worn out. It gets your cardio going, and then everything's steadier, the hand and everything. But I have to work extra hard to get that because that's the way my system seems to be. But I'm thinking of getting one of those low on the floor ones. I forget what they're called, but you're got like a bucket seat. You're comfortable. You're supported. And you're not just in this thing um, to feel pain and suffering from the terrible position of the bike. So let's see. Before I get a little carried away, it's really dark up here. It's actually going to go black in here, but I'll use this for a minute just to do it faster. So you're starting to see, like, if I took pictures of step by step by step, you're seeing stuff happen in front of your eyes quicker than like maybe the eagle painting. The eagle painting was slower. Um, Still working on that one. Oh yeah, for anybody that's just watching lives, I wasn't going to do the shadow on the eagle. Um, I told everybody I'll do it, off camera. But I decided when I was painting to upload it. So I did put it on my uploaded videos. So if you want to see me painting, starting the dark shadow under the beak, just go to the uploaded videos and you'll catch that. If you're subscribed to the channel, you'll get notifications if you hit the notification bell. And then, you'll know what's going on because I'm doing this every Tuesday instead of Facebook. So it's working out good. I actually enjoy it. There's no problem like Facebook. Facebook has been horrible. And this helps the YouTube channel build. It's not monetized or anything. Everything is free right now. I don't know one day if they will monetize me, but it's not now. So it's all, everything is, I've been putting more time into it this past months. So that helps, the channel grow. There's a real ugly, that's where it had to dry. Pegs, just second coat it, air dry it, and that goes away. It goes away just like that. Hope you can see that, right? Nothing's coming out, so you know what to do. Don't force it like I had there, It's a little wiggly here, so I'm going to kind of let the airbrush be a little weird here, right there. My hand can make that happen easy. Okay. Very frustrating as a sign painter and an artist over the years. I mean, I want to paint, so I'm going to paint. But I had to deal with low blood sugar, kind of shaking hands, and that's what kept me out of the pinstripe world. Because you can get away with trying. I mean, I could control it. Like I said, the stationary bike will probably make all this really go away. I'd have to be consistent, but I want one of those bikes that have more comfort than, the one I have. Get rid of that, put that out by the highway. Just browning that out a little bit more. It's too bright, too orangey. Couple little feather strokes of fur there. A line of fur coming down here. This is going to be real dark, obviously. I'm doing it freehand. Try to get to the edge of that and keep it blurry. It gets real dark, so I don't mind having this color under the dark black color, but so let's try a raised shield a little bit. Wrong one. This is that particular French curve has organic edges. So does the tiny one, but so that I want smooth. So this would be, let's put something dark behind it. Okay, see the edge? It's made on purpose to have that organic edge all the way through. It's really cool, actually. He puts Drew puts extra things into everything, but he'll sell this as the organic edged curve. It's French curve. And then there's just the smooth one. I think I have three. One organic. Talk about the same size. So I have two of these. I don't know how that happened. I think somebody might have gifted me one of them and I already had one or something. But anyway, so I want to just go possibly here. I got to find the shape right there. But I'm going to kind of hold the shield a little bit off the surface as best as I can. And I'm just going to etch in, even with the wrong color, because it goes black there. And I'm just going to now really hold it off the surface and blur that. That's good. See that blur? That's what you want. That's what you need. Same thing here. I'm just going to hold it off the surface. I even tried holding it off the surface with something that thick, stir. You can get that under there like that, and it's not going to hit. Just let it be behind there, and it's resting on it. It's raised. Probably in the air is better, but I'm just going to try this. I don't know. Yeah, it's blurry, but freehand, if you can aim, you can get that too. Tip dry, go after it a lot. I would say, I think I was told every 15 seconds or something like that. Do I pay attention to it? And then I wonder why I make mistakes, right? Okay, so we're just going to soften that in. It's the wrong color because his legs are almost black, but that's okay because there's a freehand blur right there. That's okay because that will set him back in the picture the way I'm trying to copy it. Okay, so this does come in here. It's going to be black in here. I'll just come up in here. I got to look at where it goes. Where is it? It's right next to his, it's right in here. Air dry it. And then just second coat it a little bit right there. Like I said, that's going to be black. I don't mind using the organic one here because he's got little whiskers there on his, got to find the shape. There it is. Cute little guy. Cute, cute, cute. Imagine being out in the woods taking pictures and all of a sudden he comes out. Hey, what do you got there, a camera? Hey, maybe you can get some people to paint me. That would be cool. Got any snacks? Now, his real white in here is going to be blue, blue white. It's not really blue, but it's definitely not pure white. It's a grayish white. It goes into a blue family, you know, that kind of a thing. Okay, so get dark in here still. Remember, this is going to have, um, what's the word? This is going to have darks on top of that, along with, you know, I could even mix up my own little fur color and kind of come in there without getting a color shift and try to straighten that out. Now let's see, I got to go up. It says to go up higher, right in here. Use a pump stroke to find where I am. Yep, that's going to be black. Now his head is starting to come forward. That was a little too, well, once I do the background, that will all settle down. So, okay. A little bit more sketching in here. Soft fur. Here's a real long one. Let the tip dry and get this right. Where am I? I'm kind of just going by myself now as far as trying to figure out where the fur is. There's ways to put it exactly where it lives, but I can't do that right here. I have to just kind of wing it. And that's other things that you'll learn too if you do other courses, which you'll learn how to put a freckle where a freckle is. I don't like working flat myself because my neck has a lot of pain over the years. It's just, I'm in a lot of pain right now trying to paint. And it's just got bone spurs in it and it gives me trouble. But I'm not stopping painting. It's just paint through the pain, you know. It's a pain, but we all have our things, right? They told me at therapy that a long time ago, they said, oh, well, you know, this is an occupational hazard from being a sign painter. I could believe that, the tightness that you get into some positions later in a truck, and your neck is hand painting. I'm not talking about vinyl. And you're painting and you're like, okay, it starts to really catch up with you when you're older and you don't even know it. You don't know what's going on. You're just like, why is this hurting? But that's the way it goes. Yeah, I got a little too blurry here, too off the path, so I just erase up to it right there. It's still blurry. Matter of fact, if I erase a little into it, I can get rid of the pencil line. There's on the gray. Let's see if I can wipe that off a little. Yeah, that's good. I think he goes out wider here. I'm looking at that, and you really can't see it because my picture is, I don't know. No, it just goes right off the picture. Oh, that's the back leg. That's what that is. That's the back leg. Okay, so right here is the back leg on the right side of this line I'm going to put in here. He's got it on an angle, a funny angle. It's shooting out, jutting out from there. You still won't be able to really see it, but remember, this is going to be all dark, real dark. So if I spray the brown first, then I can start using the black for just showing some of the brown through it or whatever, you know, just by spraying the black lighter or whatever. Okay, so next color, please. Still got a color left in there, but it's time to, oh, the tail. The tail. There will be black sprayed on top of this. I'm just dusting the tail. And now the tail's out of focus. right, tip dry. Okay, so the tail's going to be out of focus, so just pull the airbrush back from the surface more, and don't try to make a line here, make a blurry line right there. Get in a little closer where you see it, wherever you see something happening, and then just pull back. And don't be in a hurry to get your color always to be perfectly, just dust it in, kind of thing. Raise the shield a little. Makes a blur right there. Blurry. Just blurry enough. This is really blurry here, so you can just put this in close to the line, pencil line, and then just stay back further and keep spraying, and it blurs it with a little edge outside of there. That's not the color of the tail. The tail's going to have a little bit more black on it. Okay. Enough of the brown for now. Yeah, if you want to see a color under a color, put lighter color under. So the brown's still dark, but black is darker. So if you want to spray the black, now I'm going to take the black. Where's my black? I got it here, but I'm going to put one more drop of white. One drop. Sometimes two drops come out, and then you get in trouble. I'm just going to put one more drop of white in there just to change the black a little bit. And I grab a bigger brush, a lot more paint in there, and I'll stir it around. And it goes to like a gray. And then I'm looking at it now without even trying to mix anything special. I'm going to add burnt umber to it. Because the black is not black. It's a brown black almost, but it's super close to black. So I'm just going to pour this in, shooting from the hip here. I'm not worried about if this isn't black enough. I've got a brown black. It's good enough for me. I can always add black on top of it and spray it lighter, that kind of thing. There it is. Okay. Start in the middle, because this is separated right there by a little brown. So more air. It's a thicker paint. More volume, I should say. That's what I was taught. Velvety looking, right? Doesn't want to fit. Let me see something here. Nope, too much of a curve. Yeah, too extreme. That one. Leave it up a little bit. Wait a minute, that's not going to work. All right. Sometimes you need something bigger. Got the cart on the side there. Big shield. Now that's a big shield, but I got to use it, so let's see. Where is it? Oh, wrong way, Bill. Wrong way. Raise it up a little bit. Let's see, the brown. Yeah, the black is pretty much... I just got to make sure it's the right fit. Okay. Now I'll go back here. Preserving the brown right there a little bit. Actually, it's up here, I'm sorry. In there. And then this tail is separated by a little bit of brown and this blackish brown coming up next to it. Far away. I hope you guys can see that. There we go. Okay, let's see. Yeah, having this nice soft, yeah, that's what I was looking for. You can't tell that when you're mixing because something just looks different about that. It's not like black out of the bottle, but when you examine it up close, it looks like it is. And it's just the color under it that's making the difference. It's becoming a brown black and it's doing the job. Oh, almost lost my paint. It's in the drawer here. It's spilling, right? Almost spilling. But now I got to examine the actual shield to make sure there's no paint on it. I got to look at the picture. Raise the shield a little bit right there. And you get a little bit of a blurry, you know, it gets tweaked. I mean, you got to bring the background in. You got to do this and do that. And then it starts happening. So he's got this little thing going on right here. Right here. It's another leg behind the leg. Right there. It's like the joint of his back leg. And then it gets separated right in here. Wait, I gotta make sure. Nope, it's this way. No, it's this way. I might have to play around with that because it's getting a little sloppy looking, but try freehanding this in. At the same time, when you're trying to blur something, you don't want to overspray. You don't want crazy, like what's going on in here. I can erase this. I don't have to, but that's what you're going to get. Now that will create a sharp edge, which I'll just spray that, respray that. I'm talking about right there. I went into the gray and it broke up. Okay. And just clean that up. Now, if you want a nice hard edge like that, that's one thing. But if you want a little blur, you know, you got to just stay away from the surface a little bit. anyway, background's going to fix a lot of things there anyway. Yeah, right here, he's got a nice little white fur that's going to reappear under that little darker lip. There's going to be a nice light area there. It's only there. It's not on his leg. So I can just leave that and paint that almost like a blue-white, like this is going to be in here. And then you could clean this up because you got to put color in here, right? So you got to go back in. And this is a hard edge. So like there's going to be little spikes coming off of there that I should have got a package of dowels because I see that I put it in the sharpener, the dowel, and I'm having a little trouble with it. So I got to talk to Drew about using the dowels. It's new to me, you know, the dowels. Wooden dowel. So I'm just cleaning that up. I'm going to come in here like that. Clean up overspray on the nose. Sharpen it, because that's sharp. Very sharp right there. There we go. And this can cut in a little more. So just reshaping it a little bit. Whoops, crashed into it. It's all right. I'll reshape it with the airbrush too. Okay, so their nose is really kind of like cut off. It's like very interesting. Let me get this one. It's got like a top piece, then it quickly goes down. And then this goes down this way, a little more this way. Okay, so that'll get some spraying done to it later. Okay, so we got the blackish color in there now. So now brown's there waiting. And you get like a velvet, I'm saying velvety because the brown's waiting underneath for me to second coat this. And it just gives it a beautiful kind of, like you're seeing in the photograph, you're seeing a silky smooth. It's not black, you know, that kind of a thing. And I just like painting over browns and stuff like that. So we want to do this right there. And that is going the wrong way. So the curve would be like there. And that is the, boy, the littler one has organic edges. Really can't see them too much there. But they're working, so then you got to just separate this one here, right here. Oh, too much. Got to turn that down a little. And there we go. Oh, got that splash thing going on there. Okay, no big deal. I know better than not doing the tip dry, right? So hopefully you can see this here. Let's turn it this way a little. Now I'm going to spray light over this brown, just a little bit, because it's not, you still see a more brown in there. And then over here, you start seeing interesting shapes, like right here. Kind of goes like that. Pull away, get a little out of focus part there. Then you got to come back. It's like when you're doing a tiger and you got the, you know, the fur, the black or different stripes, and then one thing goes into the other, white into the black, black into the white. So like I said, you can watch the other video on uploads. I noticed it didn't get too many Not like a live feed. The live feed gets like last week's got 400 views, very within the week, and almost 200, almost 300 like that night or whatever. That was cool. But the thing is, it's over there waiting, and people don't know it. So just go over and upload. Go on the channel and just go to videos, and you'll see how I shaded the eagle's shadow. I'll bring it over. The eagle is not done, but tweaking something this small on here. So there's the painting. There's the shadow. Whoops, sorry. So let's back out the camera a bit. Okay, so painting's on the left. You can see this is the color theory of Drew Blair, right? I mean, that's me mixing it. Look at the greens. Look at those greens. They're dead on. Pretty close. I think Drew would approve those colors. And I've got some tweaking to do to make more of a shiny, plasticky kind of looking beak. But those are the things you see later. I got to put in the yellow under there. But that shadow, if you look at the last video, was not in as far as the live feed. It wasn't in there. And what's cool is when you're far away and you're in the art room and they're far away, like over there leaning on the cabinet or whatever. And then for a split second, this is not a photoreal. It's photoreal. It's got elements of photorealism in it. But it's still cool to look at your work later and go, man, which is the painting from a distance, And then when you go and look at Drew's work, and there's other people, Anthony, I'm not sure how to say Anthony. He's an oil paint. Annie Academy, ANI Academy, Anthony Wakulis or Wakulis, I'm not sure of the pronunciation. Oh my gosh, he's a Trump Leo. He paints the tiniest little out of focus photograph, like a black and white photograph. Go find him on Facebook. He's going to be at Drew's, I think. Drew's in person, I'm pretty sure. So now there's another one. He'll paint like a ketchup bottle, and he'll paint like what's at the diner set up on the table, and he literally will. You just can't distinguish it from real life, and it's a photograph. His work is tiny too. It's unbelievable what people can do. Stop painting when you got nothing coming out. Don't paint because it's tip dry and it's going to splat your painting because you're going to press down harder and you're going to pull back the trigger and you're going, where's the paint? Where's the beef? And then all of a sudden you're going to be like, uh-oh, I just ruined my painting. If it's coming out, then you're okay for a few minutes. I'm guilty of the tip dry, not paying attention to it. So now we're getting far away shot, but you can see those soft fur in there. And then in here, we got a little dusting to do just down in the fur where it meets around. Over here, you got a little far away shot like that kind of stuff going on. Then you could start going in and finding little lines. Nothing's coming out. It's ready to do its thing again. There it goes. Oh wait, I have the black in the gun. That's all right. There is some black in there, but it's really on the edge. It's trimming it out, like out here. So I forgot. See, it started paint with the wrong color in there. This kind of has to be freehand. Mr. Tremors, that's me. This is just a little, I don't know if it's this hard of an edge, so I gotta be careful, but I'm gonna put that there. It's over more, it's right in there. A little more wiggly shape. I'm just gonna try a little baby one right there. So use tools when you have them. See, it's a little too straight. It's pretty straight in the photograph. Whoops, sorry. But it's a little more curved than that. So I can kind of come in, and change that at the bottom a little bit. Tip dry. Okay, so we're talking about, hold on for a second, guys. I want to just check the time. Okay, so I'm 5 minutes over. So just to make this end with not a repair, but like I don't want those little eyeballs. I'm gonna put the orange in again. So anyway, there's the the eagle, and now we're gonna take, because I realized the pupils were not round. They're freehand ovals, out of focus, microscopic. So you practice, when you practice little things, practice things that are going to make you control the airbrush in such a way that you can make little tiny out of focus shapes that are microscopic. Now see, I've got the paint. I got the paint thinner on my hand, and what do I go and pick up? The painting. Almost could have just totally put a hole in it, because it has no clear on it or anything. Okay, so here we go. We've got a little bit of, oh yeah, I was going to use, at least to help me a little bit as soon as I find it. Everything is either on the floor, or it's behind me. And let me see where I put this shield. I made a Mylar. Lots of people sell shields. And there are all kinds of people show. I saw one. It was like bubbles, little bubbles and stuff, and great. I mean, I've got Gerald Mendez's special effects kind of shields that probably would lend itself to some really cool things out of focus in the woods or something. I'll show you the shield in a minute. So we'll go a little overtime if anybody feels like spending the time. We still got some people here. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. It's just saying, hey, you guys appreciate the video, and that makes me happy, And comments, these things move the algorithms and stuff. So I took it out. I'll zoom in, I'm sorry. Let's go. You can still see the old pupils. I'm going to try one more time. Maybe an eraser or something can go in on there, but I'm going to try this one. So I used the shield as a protection from the actual Windex that's on this. Yeah, so I won't go crazy there. Make sure you dry that, right? Just in case it got underneath. And then do the same thing here. Just clean it up. And then from there, I can go in when it's dry later, and with a clean eraser, I can go in here and try to take that out more with pressure. Yeah, it's coming out more. Yep, it's going away. And I think when it dries, because it might be a little moist, I'm not sure, they'll be waiting for brand new eyes. because like I said, you got to paint what you see, you know. And this dude has beautiful eyes that I did not treat right. I put the circle template down, and I was like, no, that's all free, that's all melted. See that? So that's why I took the eyes out. Now he's an alien. He's got the bokeh eyes. Okay, so I think we'll stop there. We'll touch up from the shield hitting this. Make sure I know what's in the gun. So what can be going on next week is getting into the tighter for the, you know, the real tight stuff there. So you see a little bit of the brown. Oops, let's back it out. Not that far. How about, like I said, this zoom thing is a touch. You gotta just have the right touch to pull it in or out. There, that's pretty good. So there's the painting, and I'm not gonna try to do the eyes right now. My neck's killing me anyway. I scratched it over here, see, but I got the color, so I'll just take this. There's a scratch right by my thumb. And I'll just take the same color. Opaque will cover that. Transparent will allow you to see into, you know, like see through it. Let's see if we can do something here. These are more sharper furs, but this dowel is not behaving. I don't know what's going on with that part. Whoops. Too big of one, but that's kind of like starting to get the fur. Then you spray over it, back and forth. That went too far. You know, you start going like quicker, like that. Littler. You can use the tip of the X-acto knife too. And you start getting, really when you go faster, you get better results, I think. I'm just practicing on here because I can wipe that all off. But that's kind of like what I'm going to be doing. And then you spray around it, and you get your stuff happening, you know. What is in the gun right now? Let's see. While I have it, just before I sign off, I'm going to find the positive, right? This shield is fantastic. So there's the positive. Let's get this down here. Okay. And I'm going to put a little shading inside. Oops, which one is it? It might be that one. Pin it down, really get in there. Didn't have the volume, okay? Check it there. If you don't have it set right, you're gonna get speckles or you're gonna get a flood. So yeah, for every circle on here, there's a positive circle. There's a negative and a positive. So now we're gonna come in here and very carefully lay in the dark right where it is, right there. And that makes a world of difference too. And the same thing here. I think this one is smaller, believe it or not. Now I gotta be careful. I don't want to hit that and have that shape appear, so I want to be careful there. And I just did catch it a little bit, but this does do this right here. Kind of comes down a little lower, then it goes up around the eye like that. And this again, being safer, why not, right? And then it just goes into tip dry. Now I just did the tip dry, so I'm either out of paint. Try again. Now I got paint a little bit. Pull away and just dust it into that area and dust it into this area. When I say dust it, I'm further away, so I'm not going to get, yeah, it's pretty much out of paint. Let's try this little bit here. Dust it. This raises up here and it goes out like that. And so it gives them his characteristics and stuff. And then this just dusted up in here a little bit. Whoops, I missed. So I have to, no, it's actually there. It's there. It just kind of goes like that. Okay, so I'm going to end the video now. All right, thanks for watching. And this is going to get a little more black on it. Like I said, if this has black on it here and this has black on it there, then that separation is right there. But the brown is underneath it, so it's just a beautiful color. Except I didn't show you it because I was aiming wrong. I put black on the tail a little bit. All right, so here it is from a distance. There's the reference picture, the same size. Now obviously I'm going to be making the background darker. You know, I'll be going in here and deepening the green. I could use the black for a minute just to show you a little bit. And that starts giving it more depth. All right. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out with me and take care. God bless. Be safe and have fun airbrushing, right? Good night.